Um, okay, great. So I'm going to record it and I'll share it later, but I feel like this is something that you can refer back to if I go too fast tonight. If I would highly recommend that you take some notes, and then we're going to discuss it and give you a chance to ask questions at the end. And then we do have a few things team business wise that we need to discuss. So, and I'm going to try to, thankfully I don't have slides because I got to pay attention to who else is coming into this call so I can accept them into the call. So y'all, whoo, lots going on tonight. All right. First of all, if you have not watched the National Wake Up Call from this morning with Christine Dwyer, she's amazing. She has been somebody that I have learned from in the network for years. She is a 14-year veteran, and she was a mentee of Chalene Johnson for years and years and years. And what she shared this morning on the National Wake Up Call aligns perfectly with what we're going to talk about tonight. Like, I was like, this is so awesome. So I would highly recommend you go back and you listen to the National Wake Up Call from this morning if you didn't, and take some notes. Tonight's theme is all about. And if y'all can make sure you're muted until I tell you to unmute, then it won't give feedback as I am presenting and recording this part. Okay, so systems. Some of the things that I'm going to talk about tonight are from this book called Go Pro by Eric Worre, which I got this book from Dave and Monica Ward when they were, like, when I was first coming into this business, or my husband was first coming into this business. And I love what he teaches in this book. And actually Dave Ward still, who is, you know, they're the founders of our team, the Fit Club Network. Dave still follows these practices to this day. He still follows these practices. Eric Worre says there are 3 types of network marketers: the posers, the amateurs, and the professionals. Let me tell you the difference between the 3. The poser is the person who comes into this business and treats it like it's a lottery ticket, hoping that if they can hit it big with little effort as possible, and they can ride the get quick rich train for as long as possible. The second type of person is the amateur. The amateurs focus on different things. And one of the things they focus on is luck. Still focusing on luck. And the second thing they focus on is timing. Oh, I didn't get in at the right time. I'm not on the right person's team. My upline is not the right people. And they always are dwelling on that. I was an amateur in this business for a very long time. But a person who is a professional in this business is a person who is an expert at the skills required to build a large and successful network marketing organization. You guys, it takes practice. You don't become a doctor, right, in 2 years when you become a doctor. You have to spend years perfecting that practice. And same difference as an athlete. Athletes they're not successful overnight. They have to practice. They have to create a routine. They have to create a schedule. They have to learn what they're supposed to eat in order to make progress with their skill and with their game and whatever that event happens to be. Same thing with your business in network marketing. You have to put in the time. The beauty, though, the difference between a doctor and a network marketer as a professional is that you can get paid while you're learning, and you can make a significant amount of money while you're learning, unlike a doctor or an athlete. So we're going to dig into this tonight because there is definitely a process of who you become as you start to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And I have noticed in my own personal journey, when I focus on the person that I have to become in order to achieve the goal that I've written down on the paper, I learn so much more and I grow so much more as a person versus when I'm fixated on just making the goal happen. I miss the opportunity to become the person I need to be to achieve that goal. Does that make sense to you guys? So, in our mentorship training that most of you have already been through, in like that we've sent you in little messages when you said, I'm ready to rock and roll with this, and we've started sending you little messages. We cover some of this in our mentorship training. We talk about systems, and we're going over those tonight. And I'm going to give you specific examples of the systems that I use, because I'm hoping that you will have an aha moment and say, okay, I'm not doing that. Why didn't I think of that? I need to do that. So I hope tonight that you take away something from this call, because if we don't have systems in place, you guys, basically we're just floundering. And you might sit down to actually work your business, but if you don't have a system in place, you're going to waste a lot of time. And I don't want you to waste a lot of time. I want you to know with certainty and intention what you're supposed to be doing when you sit down to actually work your business to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So the first system we want to talk about tonight is our own personal routine. When I realized that the top coaches in Team Beachbody, really top professionals in network marketing, regardless of the field, when I sat down and I studied what they did versus what I did, I had a huge aha moment. These were the people who were getting up at 5 and 5:30 in the morning, no matter what was going on in their life. They set the clock, they didn't hit snooze, and they got up and they got their business activities done as a part of their morning routine. I was challenged by that personally, and that is when I read the book Miracle Morning, which some of you have read in this group. And if you have not read Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, I would highly recommend that you do. You guys, this morning routine I have created, I will have to say I've got to buckle down and narrow my time again. It's always a work in progress, but it's always consisted of the same things. Okay. Whether I get up at 5:30 in the morning or whether I get up at 6 during the summer, I am getting up, making my Energize. I am reading my personal development and my quiet time first thing. I'm having my prayer time, and then I'm journaling. And I really like this new journal. I love it, as a matter of fact, that goes with Fire and Flow. And I'm really hoping that they make these available just to purchase the journals, because I like the way it helps you to sit down and kind of rewrite out your schedule for the day, and gives you a place to list your Focus 5, which is what Julie Voris calls the 5 things she's got to get done that day to move her business. They don't call it the Focus 5, but oddly enough, there are 5 to 6 blanks there. So I'm calling it my Focus 5. So I'm having my quiet time. I'm having my prayer time. I'm reading my personal development. I'm doing some journaling. And then by that time, I need to get up out of my chair by 7:30 and hit play on my workout. My watch keeps going off. Hold on. I think, can somebody send Suzanne the Zoom link to the group? I don't know why she can't find it. Like, she's always.
I'll send it to her. And
Thank
Angela's
you.
computer is dying. She's trying to work on that.
Yes, because I can't keep talking and try to find the Zoom link at the same time. So you've got to have a morning routine that focuses on you first. Your workout, your personal development, your quiet time. You have to fill your cup first. And then once I get done with my quiet time, my workout time, my personal development time, then I sit down and I do my income producing activities, or my IPAs. Usually those are things like posting to stories on Instagram, posting a post to Instagram, going in and seeing who liked my previous posts and starting conversations with those people. And I'm going to share with you tonight how I do that and how I was able to do that this past week and bring in a new client almost immediately from that. But if I don't take the time to do those things first thing in the morning, then the day will just get away from me and I've gotten hardly anything accomplished. All right. So that's system number one, my daily routine. System number two is how I approach my vacation time or my family time when I'm out of town. And I'm sharing about this because I just did this, number one, a couple weeks ago. And number two, because I know you're going to go out of town and you are going to have occasions where you're not going to be at home. And I want you to know how to approach those. The first thing I did while I was on vacation, I had my laptop with me so that I was ready to push play on my workout. I had my workout clothes picked out. I got up at 6 a.m. in the morning, even while on vacation. Why did I do that? Because I want to change more than I want to stay the same. If I want my business to keep growing while I'm out of town, then I have to keep showing up. I have to keep showing up. I have to keep leading from the front. So I got up. I did the exact same routine out of town in the house that we were in. You saw me working out in a laundry room, for crying out loud. Like, I'm walking over that house the night before, as big as it was, looking for a space. Okay, I can use the laundry room. I can do that. I didn't have any more room in my car to bring my weights. I probably did, but I just didn't. I grabbed a Diet Coke pack and did one of my workouts with the Diet Coke pack one morning, if you were following me on social media. I got that stuff done between the hours of 6 and 9 a.m. Same daily routine, worked out, sent messages to people, invited people to our Summer Sizzle Challenge, followed up with people, engaged with people. When my family came down, most of them didn't get up till 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock. I was ready to go. I unplugged and I spent time with my family. As we walked around, I videoed things and I would just save it to my camera roll, like inconspicuously. Like, my family didn't even really know what I was doing. I was just videoing, store it on my phone, keep going. I would come back to it later. When we got back to the house and everybody was chilling out and everybody was doing their own thing, I got back to that later and posted some to my stories. If you were following me that week, you saw that I still showed up in my world. Okay. Now, there are things that I should have done on the front end for my business to keep moving before I went out of town, and I just ran out of time and I didn't do that. But I had a system in place. And I was off of my phone the majority of the day, even though it may not have looked like it. I also had posts prepared on Instagram in the drafts section of Reels. I had posts already prepared that I could share quickly and get on and get off. So I prepped ahead of time before going. So that's system number two. I didn't stop pumping the well just because I went out of town. I'm getting ready to go out of town again. I'm going to do the exact same thing again. There might be one morning that I sleep in, but the majority of the time that we're gone, I try to stay on track as much as possible. So I'm present with what I need to get done. And then when my husband gets up, I will be present with him. Okay. And the third system is for conversations. You all have heard me talk about the Chris Reed script. I've shared it with many of you, how to convert messages with people in the DMs, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook. If you don't have access to that Google Doc, then ask me and I will send you a link to it. You guys, I still use that strategy. And I loved in this book that I referred to earlier by Eric Worre, I love in this book that he's talking about systems as well. And the system that he uses in conversations, I'm going to just briefly touch on it right now. And that is the first thing, when he wrote that book, social media was not even in existence. So his approach and our approach is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to tell you how I tweaked his approach to make it work now. All right. The first thing I do is, and I did this last week because some of my reels went really crazy and I can't see the number of people. I can't see the individuals who saw the reel on Instagram. Same deal on Facebook for those of you who are using just Facebook, but I can see who liked it. And I went into every single person who liked it, whether I knew them or not, and I sent them this message that I created. It basically says, hi, we're going to use the name Jessica as an example. Hi, Jessica. Thank you for following my journey. It's so nice to meet you. I am from North Carolina. Where are you from? That's all it says. She answers me, I'm from Michigan. Great. How long have you lived in Michigan? I've lived in North Carolina all my life. Person responds back to me, oh, I've lived here for the last 20 years. That's fantastic. Do you have kids? And we're just having a conversation back and forth, back and forth. At some point in the conversation, I make it turn and go, how did you find me on social media? The girl says, this is a real conversation I've been having for over a week. She says, oh, I actually found you on Facebook in a reel that you did. I love your energy. What do you love about my energy? Like, why did that create interest for you? She shares back with me. I say to her, do you work out from home too? No, I don't, but I should. And we've just been having this conversation back and forth, back and forth. And then I jump into the Chris Reed script. It's not salesy. It's not weird. And today I got to the point in the conversation where I said, and this is an Eric Worre approach, it's a Dave Ward approach. If I sent you a less than 3-minute video, would you have time to watch it today and let me know if it's something that might interest you? Sure, I can watch it today. Sometimes they'll say, no, I can't watch it until Saturday. Okay, great. And then you set the time to follow up with them, you guys. Okay, great. You're going to watch the video on Saturday. Let's touch base. Would it be okay if we touch base on Sunday or Monday? Give them a choice. But they know you're going to follow up with them. They pick the time and you say, great, I'm going to message you on Monday after lunch. Let's touch base and tell me how you think this program might be able to benefit you. Okay, you guys, do you see how I used a system for my conversations? I'm not just randomly spamming people. The only message that I have pre-typed is the first message. Thank you for following my journey. I'm from North Carolina. Where are you from? I have that as a shortcut on the keyboard on my phone. I type in IG1 and that whole message pops up. So that's my system. I have found sharing a video with people and then telling and then asking them if you can follow up with them is a great system to convert people at least 90% of the time to a sale. So, questions that you have at this point, because I am pausing for you to ask me any questions about those 3 systems.
When you share a video, Melissa, what are you typically sharing with them?
Okay, that's a great question. So in the notes on my phone, I create a new note for every program. So like I just deleted a bunch of my notes because I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to go back to,
MM100.
Yeah, that's a great example. Or I'm probably not going to go back to 9-week Control Freak.
Right.
So I've deleted that note. But like I have a note on my phone. Actually, I have 3 notes on my phone right now for Fire and Flow. I like to send them the direct Vimeo link, which they drop it. It's not easy to find. Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I have them is because I'm in a 2 to 4 star thread, and they will share it with us on the 2 to 4 star thread. And then I share it in the notes on my phone. I like to do that versus sending the video from the product and shareable media inside my online office. Do y'all know what I'm talking about when I refer to that?
I do.
Okay, so under products and shareable media, there are videos, images, all kinds of information on every single product and program. They have videos that you can send to people, you guys. But the problem with that is that when you send it, there's good and bad, okay? The good is that it's connected to you. So if you're sending it to Susie Snow in Michigan and you don't even know her, then she has a direct link to you now. And if she decides to go wandering all over the website after watching that 2.5-minute video and decides, oh, well, what is this? I'm going to order these bars. You're going to get credit for it. Okay, that's the positive. The negative is that when you send it to people and they click on it, they immediately see that it's Team Beachbody and that you're a coach, and it's like a video pops up within the platform. It's kind of hard to explain. It's probably not a good way to say it, but that's what it looks like.
So when you say like you would send videos for Fire and Flow, is it like not the sample workout because that's more than 3 minutes? Is it like the trailer?
It's the trailer. It's the introduction to whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the one I've sent the most of, and if you guys want the one that's not connected to your back office, I can send it to you, is for the gut protocol.
That's what I was going to ask you for.
That's the one that I use the most.
Because honestly, that's the one people are still asking me about.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to talk about that one because we've had such success with it.
Yeah.
I did send sample workouts for a while, but I noticed that most people were not doing the sample workouts.
Yeah.
And some people got overwhelmed by the sample workouts. So now I don't even send the sample workout.
Right.
I just send the intros.
Right.
Is what I'm sending. And sometimes you can also save I feel like Beachbody stuff on Vimeo is hard to find. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I feel like it is under Team Beachbody. But sometimes you can download results videos to your computer, and then you can convert those into YouTube, which I have done. So I will send those to people sometimes so they can see the results that people have gotten from a particular program. But that's a great question. But I have to save it as a note, you guys, because I don't want to have to go scrolling to try to find stuff. I want it to be easy to access, and then I can just copy and send it extremely fast.
Yeah.
What other questions do y'all have about those 3 systems I just covered? Anybody?
Jennifer has a question.
So mine's about the videos again.
Okay.
Do you run, like, the problem I run into, and maybe they're just blowing me off, maybe I've not made a good enough connection with them, is they'll say, sure, I'll watch a video, but then I can't get them to, like, I'll say, let's follow up. But then when I follow up, they're like, no, I haven't watched it yet. Okay. Do you know when you might be able to watch it? And Do you have that happen?
Yes, I do. And I've just recently started saying when can like asking them, I felt like it was pushy for me to give them a date and a time, but if I give them two options, then I'm more likely to follow up with that person. So I say, would you have time to watch this video, this less than 3-minute video today, or is tomorrow better? And then let's follow up. And when I do that, I have a greater chance of them actually watching the video. It was funny to me in this book I just read this morning how Eric Worre, when he was doing his network marketing business, their company sold them videos, like DVDs to give to people.
That's hilarious.
$15 a piece. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And then they went to an audio cassette and they reproduced those for 50 cents a piece. And I'm thinking, gosh, we get to do this for free. Like we just send people a link. And how beautiful is that? That it's come so far and it's so much easier and it's so much more cost effective for us to be able to do that. But I feel like the power, it's more powerful for people to see the video.
Yeah.
And see the results in the video. And Beachbody does such a good job with their videos. The other thing is, guys, your messaging has to sound like you're in a rush all the time. Hey, I'm extremely busy and I know you are too, but I just had to send you this message really quick because I don't want you to miss this opportunity. Like Eric Worre even says, make your message concise, quick, and to the point, and don't give them so many details, which we talk about that all the time. And this Chris Reed script, that's why we like it so much, is because it keeps you from word vomiting on people. And it keeps you focused on that person's goals and helping them with their goals. You might get through the conversation and a total solution pack is not what that person actually needs. What they actually need is energize. And that's all they need. And that's okay. You've still gotten them started on something and you've gotten to the opportunity to help them in some way. Also, and I mean, I don't personally do this, but I want you to know that setting people up on yearly subscriptions to BOD, even though I don't feel like it's giving that person everything that they need to get started, if that's what they're insisting on, you're going to make 40% commission on that. It's a bigger commission than even a challenge pack.
Right.
So, you know, that was what I was praising. And Karen, I hope you are watching this on the playback. She's at a conference in Las Vegas. But that's what I was praising her about for last week, because she set two guys up and one of them is the other one's brother. He could have set him up under himself. He didn't know. He said, you need to just do this with Karen. But neither one of them got a total solution pack. But what they got equaled 90 PV, which produced 2 Success Club points for her.
Wow.
So meet people where they are, you guys. Meet people where they are, but you've got to ask them. You've got to go ahead and pre-make the appointment while they're actually engaging with you and talking to you. You got to make a specific time that you're going to follow up with them. Otherwise, they're not looking at it as a sense of urgency like you are. Okay. Any other questions? These are good questions. Okay. So I want to leave tonight with, what system do you need the most work on right now? Who will share with me? Is it your routine? Is it your own personal routine? Is it your routine for sitting down and actually sending messages out to people, engaging with people, following the business activity tracker? Is it you need to create a routine because you know your family is going to be going out of town soon and you need to practice this before you go out of town with your family so you actually are consistent? Or is it the system of creating conversations that are going to convert. 3. Suzanne says she needs to work on 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mine's the conversations. I've got the routine. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we all have bad times and I get off that business activity tracker at times, but that's just me being lazy. I know how to do that and I know to do that, but I struggle with the conversation piece. I
I
think
feel
I'm
like I
too
start
eager.
conversations. Excuse me. I feel like I start conversations, but I don't convert them necessarily.
I think I wait till you see my reel on IG that I posted tonight, because I think I jumped the gun. I just, and Kayla talks to us about this. I want the sales so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of turn people off. So I'm really trying to work hard on not dragging my feet, but also making sure I'm creating relationships.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And that's what
Um,
you're right about with what Kayla said. Don't just say, "Hey, I'm Suzanne. Would you like to buy challenge packs?" Like, they want to know you and you need to know them. Otherwise, you don't have that genuine relationship. Like, what if it were you? Would you have bought from Melissa initially if you never knew her, didn't know anything about her, didn't know what you had in common? Like, put yourself in that person's shoes. So I feel like I'm doing that, but then the conversion is where I'm having a hard time.
Yes. Yes. And they can sense it too, you guys.
Mhm.
If they
It's very
sense that
salesy.
you sound desperate, it is a huge turnoff.
Yeah.
If they sense that you're really in it to help them achieve their goals, then they're going to see right through that as well. And the goal is for people to see what we're doing, and then we're throwing out the offer and what we have to offer at that moment to work with us. And they're like, "Here's my credit card. I've got to do this." Like,
Yeah.
we want them throwing it at us.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Elizabeth said she needed to go back to number 1 and work on herself again. And I appreciate you sharing that, Elizabeth, definitely. So, any other questions before we move into some housekeeping? I would highly recommend, especially those of you who are just starting, GoPro is a great book, 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional. I'm rereading it myself right now. It's on my bookshelf from 8 or 9 years ago. And I was like, you know what? I need to go back to this and I need to read this. And it's just a good book for the basics. And sometimes we need to go back to the basics and really lean into that and refine that skill once again. And there's nothing wrong with that, you guys, at all. Okay. Housekeeping things. Oh my goodness. We need a challenge for our summer sizzle. Hold on, let me stop recording.